This episode brought to you by thegiveawaygeek.com. Win board games, electronics, and gift cards at thegiveawaygeek.com. The geek that keeps on giving. Hey everyone, and welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're bringing you the second edition Mansions of Madness unboxing. I'm so excited about this one. This was a complete surprise when they announced it. They just announced it last week, or I guess technically the week prior to that at this point, but they announced it and said, hey, by the way, it's coming out next week. So I had to jump right on that. Let's take a look and see what comes in the box. All right, so here it is, Mansions of Madness, second edition. A game of exploration, mystery, and horror for 1 to 5 players. Designed by Nikki Valens. Based on design by Corey Konitzka. Let's take a look at the back real quick. All right, so you can see you got all these components. I'm not even going to read through all that, but that's just a ton of stuff. 14 plus for age, 1 to 5 players, 2 to 3 hours. That can actually vary a good bit based on the scenario from what I've seen. Different card sleeves you'll want to use. Okay, let's get right into the game. It includes 32 plastic figures. All right. Right here, we got this guy getting tossed out the window by some sort of tentacled creature. All right. This is just telling you to get the app, looks like. Yep. All right. Showing you a little bit about the interface and everything. Here we've got your standard Fantasy Flight promotional material. All right, you got your Learn to Play guide, which I've read through the digital version. It's pretty well laid out, very clear, lots of great explanations. Now, I will say that some of the problem, or there is a problem with some of the explanations here, in that 1 or 2, maybe 3 of them, I can't remember exactly how many. The description will say one thing, it'll say, I don't know, you're using 3 dice or whatever, and then the image that you see shows 2 dice or something along those lines. And so there's that problem, but the text itself is very accurate from what I can tell. You can see lots of great examples and everything. This is 20 pages, including the credits on the back. However, keep in mind that that's with a lot of really big examples. Then you've got your rules reference guide, which is also 24 pages. You've got a quick reference on the back of it, which is nice. And then everything in here is alphabetical. So you learn with the Learn to Play guide, as you might expect. And then the rules reference guide is solely for easy referencing of those rules, like I said, in alphabetical order. All right, well, here we go. We've got a pretty good chunk of tiles right here. In fact, it looks like this is all the tiles. Now, I was reading on BGG that a couple of people have ended up with like duplicates of some tiles and missing a sheet. They have like 2 of sheet 3 and none of sheet 2. So let's hope that I have all the correct ones in here. Let's see. All right, so we've got 1 of 9, 2, and 9. Good, got them all. All right, so let's. I do like it when they're just falling out of the punch. That usually means that it's not going to have any tearing issues. Okay, so here's this. Now, very good quality. I wonder, let me grab one of the tiles from the first edition and see how it compares to that. Okay, so here's a first edition tile right here. This is second edition. It feels like they are pretty much the same. Look right there, they look almost identical in width, or thickness, I should say. So, yep, and as far as artwork, it's very nice. Park Pond. And you got the attic stairs and the attic. Okay, let's see how the rest of these punch out. That's looking nice. Obviously, you got all the little things that we've kind of come to expect where it was attached. But other than that, nothing is tearing. And that's really what I look for, is whether or not something tears. All these are punching out real nice. Same little hanger-ons, but that's it. What's that? That looks like a barricade, maybe. All right. Let's see. Here's some fire tokens. They're punching out just as well on the back. I don't know what that is on the back. Oh, maybe that's, I don't know, a darkness token, maybe? I guess we'll find out. Everything seems to be punching out with equal consistency. Billiard room, that's kind of a cool looking tile right there. Alley end. A lot of outside tiles I'm noticing. Flea market, that's kind of cool looking. All right, got some of these exploration tokens maybe. I'm not sure what these are, what they're called. I can't remember from the book, but some more good stuff. Okay. The hall corner one. Alley corner one. Okay. Exploration, I think, is what these are. These are exploration, I think. And those are, I can't remember what they're called. I'll get used to it as I'm playing the game, I'm sure. A lot of terminology, but from what I've seen, seems pretty straightforward as far as how it's used. Okay. Some pretty standard inside tiles here. Look at it. These are just falling out, which is real nice. Some more pretty standard looking stuff there. Okay. Yard one. And the library. All right. Oh, those are some steep looking stairs right there. Hall stairs. Street 2. Whoa, here we go. All right, so this right here is, these are going to be the tiles that you stick into the bases of the monsters. And you can see we've got the Cultist, Deep One, Hunting Horror, Deep One Hybrid, Ghost, Child of Dagon, Priest of Dagon, Riot, Starspawn, and here are various people, I guess, that's a named person right there. Howard Beckman. Okay. What are these? That looks like some kind of tile. Here we go. All right, now these are super flimsy, but it really doesn't matter because there's no hidden information. It's not like you're picking these at random, so that's okay. But we've got Agatha Crane, the parapsychologist, Carson Sinclair, the butler, Father Mateo, the priest, Minty Pan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the secretary, Preston Fairmont, the millionaire, Rita Young, the athlete, Wendy Adams, the urchin, William York, the gravedigger. All right, so those are the ones that come with the base set here for the second edition. Looks like we've got the Investigator minis. Okay. So these are, I mean, there's honestly not a whole lot special, really, as far as quality. I mean, they're cool. I'm glad they have miniatures. If you're someone who's really into painting, I guess maybe these are not going to have the same detail that we've come to expect these days from places like Cool Mini or not. However, for the purposes of playing this game as just, a person who maybe throws a little bit of paint on their miniatures but isn't really deep into the painting aspect, I think they are plenty good enough and they really provide what you need for the game. So, as far as like flimsiness, I mean, you can see how they are just barely connected there to the base, so got to be careful with that. But I mean, I'm not sure why you'd be putting that much stress on your minis in the first place. So here we've got, okay, now these are definitely very thin. Now they do, I guess they're pretty much what was in the first edition, but they are very thin and they will be sleeved without a doubt. So let's see what we got. Some different backings here. We've got, I guess these are spells back here. Wither, Feed the Mind. Not sure what all this is. Here's some wound cards. You know what? These are probably when you get wounded, in other words, when you take damage equal to your health, you become wounded, and you take a wound, I forget, a condition, that's what it's called. So there's some stunned, dazed, focused, and here's some items, it looks like. Okay, so just a bunch of different cards in here. We may go through and do a card close-up at some point. What do we have? Oops, sorry about that. What do we have here? Some more cards, all kinds of stuff. Okay, looks like some double-sided stuff in here. Some of the weapons are double-sided. All right, here, these right here are going to be when you take horror damage, and I won't go through a whole bunch of them, but like this one, you cannot seem to put the letters or numbers in their proper order. You know you had this skill once, but it has deserted you. Keep face up. Roll one fewer die when resolving a lore test. All right, so stuff like that is what's going to happen when you take horror damage. And then, for instance, if you take physical damage, disfigured. You cannot bring yourself to look in the mirror. The look on people's faces tells you all you need to know. Keep face up. Roll one fewer die while resolving a charisma test. So that's kind of stuff that's going to happen when you take damage. Let's look in here. Here's a conversion kit. So here's what you're going to use to bring first edition stuff into this game. I guess here's a little pamphlet explaining how that works, which really isn't a whole lot. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, so you can see it's basically a little flyer to show you how to do this, which basically is going to consist of, here's all the investigators from the first edition, and here's the monsters from the first edition, and you'll just take the old first edition tokens out of the bases and replace them with these. And that's pretty much it. Now, I don't have Call of the Wild, unfortunately, but I do have the rest of this. So, very cool. I'll see how those punch out, by the way. Yep, nice. And something that people who had first edition will notice is that there are no special abilities on the bottom of these. There was a special attack on the bottom of all the first edition monsters, and that's changed now because of the app. Here are the bases, it looks like. You got small base. There's a medium and a large, and you got several of each of those. Okay. Let's look at the dice, and then we'll get to the monsters. All right, so these are etched in there. They're not stickers, which is always a plus. And you see you have success and clue or investigation or something like that. And then there's some blank results as well. We get 5 of these, which might be just barely too few. But we'll see how that goes. And finally, the monsters. We have a star spawn right here. Well, now, I'll tell you what. I actually really like that. There's some detail right there in the arms. That's pretty cool. So that's a star spawn. Looks like we got that priest of Dagon, I believe is what he was called. Part of the riot. Let's see what else we got in here. There's a cultist, which is pretty much identical to the first edition. There's they call it a ghost, I think is what this guy was called. Let's see. Gotta find. Here's the child. Oh, wait, no. This is probably the Deep One hybrid. Yeah, that's what this guy is. Okay. Oh, there is the Hunting Horror. That's what that one is. And the Deep One. What else? One thing I haven't shown you is this guy. Here we go. The Child of Dagon. There we go. And that's everything that comes in the box. So there you have it. That's everything that comes in the Mansions of Madness 2nd edition box. Be looking for some more videos on this one in the future for sure. Definitely going to have a gameplay. Working on a how to play video for it as well, so we'll get those out to you as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. You can find me on Twitter @boredoffline. We have a guild on BGG, so be sure to find the link for that in the description below. And until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.